Hey guys, now that we've created our plugin header data and WordPress knows about our plugin, it's time to start coding some functionality. So we're going to start by creating some admin pages, and WordPress also refers to them as admin screens. So according to WordPress, the administration screen or admin page provides access to the control feature of your WordPress installation. Each administration screen is presented in sections: the toolbar and the header, the main navigation, the work area, and the footer. So to show you what those things are, let's go to our WordPress dashboard here, and I'm going to highlight some of these. So the first one here is the admin bar. This is the toolbar that has links to various administrative functions and is displayed at the top of the administration screen. Many toolbar items expand or fly out when hovered over to display more information. So we can see that here by hovering over this new here. We get this expanded menu that appears. Next is the main navigation. This is on the left side of the screen, and it's a menu detailing each of the administrative functions you can perform. At the bottom of that section is a collapse menu button that shrinks the menu into a set of icons. We can try that right now. Within each major function, such as posts, the submenu expands or flies out when hovered over and expands fully if any item is clicked. So to show you that, so that we get this fly out menu here. But if I go into all posts, we can see that this remains expanded now when we're in there. Next, we have the work area. This is the large area in the middle of the screen. This is the work area. It is here that the specific information relating to the particular navigation choice, so in this case, the all post page, is presented and collected. Next, we have the footer. In the footer, at the bottom of each administration screen is a light shading with links to WordPress, thanking you for using it, and a version number of the WordPress installation that you've installed. So that's this portion right here. This is the footer. So you can read more about admin pages on the WordPress Codex website on this page right here. So before we go any further, let's review the plugin template PHP included in the course files. So I'm going to open that up here in the code editor. So when you start programming WordPress plugins, you'll learn quickly that the amount of code you write can go out of control. This simple template helps us keep our code organized. Not only will it make it easier for us to work on our plugin, but if you have a team of developers working on the same plugin, it makes it easier for everyone. So what I've done here is I've created just some PHP comments to organize our code. So first, what we have is the table of contents. This includes a table of contents of the different sections we're going to have in our codes. So we've got 10 sections: hooks, shortcodes, filters, external scripts, actions, helpers, custom post types, admin pages, settings, and miscellaneous. These 10 sections should provide us with a good way to organize everything that we're going to put into our WordPress plugin. Then below that, we can see we've got each of those sections included here as their own PHP comment. Now, in my code editor, there is a special feature that allows for these special comments or bookmarks when we use this exclamation point. Now, you don't have to have that in your comments, but in my code editor, if I use an exclamation point, it creates a little bookmark, and I can see that here on my little bookmarks menu. They call it the navigator up here. Now I can quickly jump to any of these comments in my code simply by clicking here. So that's why I do that in my template here. So now what we want to do is copy everything beneath the header data here. So I'm just going to copy that from the template, and back in our My Snappy Surveys PHP file, I'm just going to hit return a couple times and then paste that below. So now I've got this template to organize my code here. All right, so what we want to do is create some custom admin pages. So to do that, we're going to navigate to the admin pages section, which is section 8 here. So I find section 8, I'm going to hit return a couple times, and I'm going to create a new function. So to keep everything organized, I'm going to name this function just in the comments here, function 8.1, and I'm going to provide a little hint in the comments here that's going to explain what this function is going to do. So I do that like this. So this page explains what the plugin is about, and it's going to provide a snapshot of the survey participation for that day. So below that, I'm going to create my function, and I'm going to begin all of my functions with SSP, which is going to be like my short little handle for Snappy Survey Plugin. And then I'm going to give it a plugin name, so this is going to be welcome page. Okay. The reason why we're using the prefix SSP is because we want to make sure that all of our functions are unique, because in PHP, if we have two functions with the same name, it's going to throw an error. All right, so we're going to start by creating a variable called output, and this is going to contain a string of HTML, which is going to be the page HTML that we want to output. Okay, so I'm going to paste in some HTML here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by creating a div tag. I'm going to wrap all my HTML in it, and I'm going to give it a class of wrap. This is a PHP class that's going to style this page for us with PHP's CSS. And then this class here is a class that I added so that later on I can add some CSS to target this particular page, and it's going to be ssp-welcome-admin-page. And then here I'm going to have a heading 2 tag with a title of Snappy Surveys. And then next after that, I'm going to have a paragraph that basically is going to include our description that we created in the planning section of this course. And then below that, I'm going to have another paragraph, and this is where I hope to display some statistics later on in our course, when we're going to update this to display some live statistics of how many people participated in surveys today. And I close that div tag, and that's my output HTML string. Lastly, what we need to do is we just echo that. So we use the echo function in PHP and then our output variable. This is going to write the HTML to the browser screen. Okay, so that's an example of an admin page. It's a function that's going to output some HTML. Okay, so below that, I'm going to add another function. This is going to be 8.2. And this is going to be very similar, except this one's going to be our stats page. So this is going to be a welcome page up here. This is going to be a stats page. And similar HTML, different title, survey statistics is the title. And then in here, we're going to have a paragraph tag with a label that says select a survey, and then a HTML form select input that's going to have a drop down for the different surveys. So right now, I don't have those other surveys created, so I'm just going to put an empty option in here that says select one, and then later on in this course we're going to update this so it dynamically pulls in surveys to select. Okay, so now we've got these two functions, 8.1 and 8.2. This is a good time to update our table of contents. So if we go back up to our table of contents, under 8 admin pages here, we can put in these new pages. Okay. So I can take out that new there. But now I know that just at a glance, when I open up this file, I can see, oh, admin pages has 2 functions, and these are what they are. So admin pages are PHP functions, as we talked about. So essentially what we've created here are 2 PHP functions that will echo or print to the browser some HTML. Our functions don't take any parameters yet. They just save some HTML to a variable and then echo the contents of that variable to the screen. The thing about these functions is that they don't do anything until they're called. So in the next lecture, we're going to set up some admin menus, and those menus are going to call these pages, and then we're going to be able to see the HTML displayed on the screen. So stay tuned for that.